Grammys are an award show that we largely do not care about. I don't think you tuned in, right?
Negative. I did not tune in.
You had a better way to spend 3.5, 4 hours of your life last night?
Yeah, I was checking in on Twitter. I was playing a lot of Apex Legends last night, brand new Battle Royale game. And I was checking out Twitter, and there was like, oh, this is getting long. I'm like, it's still on? What?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's glad I skipped out because pacing at an award show is very important. And over 3 hours, right? That's too much.
Yeah, over 3.5. It started at 8 and it got to be 11:20, and they hadn't even done the in memoriam yet. And I was like, I tapped out. I was like, I can't stay up to watch probably an album that I don't care about win this award. Although I gotta be honest, Casey Musgraves taking home Album of the Year, pretty solid. We had Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy, winning Best Rap Album. I mean, Dua Lipa won for somehow new artist, which is she a new artist? Really? Like,
no,
but by like the Grammys weird standard somehow. Like,
correct.
Her won, or what was that? Best R&B album, and then she got up there. It's like, yeah, this isn't even an album. Like, it was just like straight up, nah. Drake won for what, rap record?
Yeah, God's Plan.
He got up and he's like, yeah, these things don't matter. Like, it was pretty wild. What did you think about Drake? Did you hear anything about that on Twitter?
Yeah, so I checked in. I saw it all the moments and stuff after the fact, but yeah, I think Drake's point, which is very very sassy and matter of fact, but kind of speaks to why the Grammys have problems unlike Oscar problems. They're very different, and the music industry doesn't care about the Grammys. The film industry cares about the Oscars, so much so that smaller budget movies get financed for hopes of getting awards. It basically helps diversify the non-franchise IP movie slate throughout the year, right? The Grammys don't do any of that. They don't like, Grammy prestige isn't really a thing right now. It doesn't. You certainly don't need it to make music. So when big artists don't care to show up in years they're not nominated, it kind of says a lot, you know? But I think they at least helped themselves slightly this year by more or less picking the right winners of the people they nominated. And of course, Neil Portnow, their like chairman, that like asshole dude's finally stepping down. So hopefully that leads to more change. But yeah, I mean, Drake, you know, he was blunt about it, but he's right.
Yeah, you know, it's like weird, but it's also like so Grammys that the biggest star that they probably had on stage last night, Cardi B or Drake, and probably Drake is bigger than Cardi B just by the length of their career and width of their reach at this point. But I mean, the one moment you have your biggest star on the stage, you freaking cut his mic off. Like, is that like?
And he hasn't been there in years too. That's the other thing.
Just a wild scene. But like, shout out Drake for just going up there and like being sassy and just being like, hey, like this shit doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to care about this to have a good career. Alicia Keys hosted. Did you see any of her? Anyone talk about her? Any thoughts on her?
She did what? Did she do Shallow? Was that it?
No, she did like this dueling pianos thing.
Yeah, she did. She covered something, right? Yeah, no, I didn't watch that.
The whole dueling pianos bit was her like doing covers of different people's songs and talking about how important music is. There was one really weird moment during that where she started to play Clocks by Coldplay, and she's like, "Don't you wish you wrote this song?" And then she started singing Sex on, or the Kings of Leon hit. Use Somebody, and I literally like almost fell out of my chair because I started to sing Clocks, and I was like, whoa, it was bizarre. And there were people in the crowd that like were really like, was that what it was supposed to be? But otherwise, I thought she did a really great job, and the dueling pianos bit was like pointless but pretty cool. And she was likable. You know, who doesn't like Alicia Keys?
Sure.
What would you say Alicia Keys' biggest hit is, or best song? Maybe let's go best song.
I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with the discography. Biggest hit's probably what, This Girl's on Fire? Something off that record, which was probably like early 2010s.
New York State of Mind was the one that she went with. I thought
that's a feature. That's a Jay-Z song. I wouldn't count that.
Yeah, but like, don't you know her vocals on that like more than almost any Jay-Z line in that?
I
Now
guess.
you're in New York.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it's the hook. But everyone knows all those words, to be honest. Um, but yeah, it's of that time frame. Does she had some features on one of Drake's first record on Thank Me Later. I'm trying to think of her solo songs though, because she's kind of been out of the limelight for a while.
If I Ain't Got You is probably my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
Fitting
guess
you,
"Girl on
baby.
Fire" was her biggest song in terms of, but yeah, she's kind of been up and down, just being married to Swizz Beats and behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, she's really likable though. She did a good job. And I thought there were actually a lot of really good performances last night. There was this one sequence with it where they had Casey Musgraves and then it, like transitioned, not like a blatant transition from performance to performance, but like a person came up, introduced Janelle Monáe, who then just like burned the place down. She
Saw
did
that,
like a quick medley, which was pretty cool. Dolly Parton tribute was great. Miley just like she sang with Shawn Mendes at the beginning, and it's just so evident she's so much more vocally talented than Shawn
Oh,
Mendes.
no
Like
kidding.
not even like in the same ballpark. It was unbelievable. And then her and Cardi also were really good last night. So um,
Yeah, it's funny. I was reading so they opened the telecast this year with Camilla with Havana, right? Last year, when the Grammys happened, Havana was the #1 song in the country, yet they didn't let her perform it. Like, it's so dumb. And what happened this year? Ariana Grande wanted to perform Seven Rings. They said no. Guess what song's #1 right now? Seven Rings. Like, we know the Grammy voting period's so fucked up, but they're literally a year behind with shit. It's so annoying.
Yeah, they just really can't stop shooting themselves in the foot. But I do have to say, I think if there's one thing that they did, if they know that people aren't going to give a shit about their awards, at least they're making moments on the broadcast,
Yeah.
which is worth talking about.